It is not a good start to the show.
We are the show.
Say it after the thing that I just put in here, the music.
Yes.
All right, here we go. The Lunsby Show with T-Bone.
And Chick Brew.
God bless. All these years, just get it right one time.
What do you want from me?
40 years they've been trying. You couldn't fire somebody if they were horrible, doing a terrible job for the veterans. And now you can say, you're fired.
Okay. No one listens to radio.
And now for a quick disclaimer. The Lunsby Show with T-Bone
And Chick Brew.
is brought to you by nobody. We have no sponsors.
The show is still rated G.
For Gloria.
We are the show. We make it a good show.
Buttons help me, okay? I gotta do things and other things, and at the end of the day, I gotta put all the things together. And if there's no buttons, that's just more work I've gotta do. And I bought the thing so I could have the buttons, and now I can't get the buttons. And it's just for a little behind the scenes. We gotta do the introductory. People just pop into a guy losing his mind, and they're not gonna listen. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, it's me, T.
I think they will.
Well, if they would, we would have a lot more fans. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, it's me, T-Bone, from the Lunsby Show with T-Bone and Chick Brew. We come to you once a week and we talk about things. And we have a little fun while we're doing it. We guarantee you one laugh an hour. For your edification, she is in southern Spain. I am in central Pennsylvania. We are two people, two worlds apart. And amazingly, our lives are actually pretty much the same. We just deal with the same stuff in a different language sometimes. Today, we are dealing with the common frustration that is known as the home podcast studio, where amateurs like me spend a lot of money and do a lot of things to make our lives easier, but it's actually killing us. There's no doubt in my mind that all of this is killing me. And luckily for the listeners, they don't get to experience the last 30 minutes that unfortunately you had to experience, my friend. I am sorry. I was ill prepared for today's get-together.
And yet we endure. It's fine.
It's fine.
I am sufficiently unbothered.
Well, how about that for you? Living in southern Spain, can I ask, how much snow did you get today?
Well, no snow, but the rain has eaten the roads.
Well, to be fair, I've driven on those roads, and the rain's been eating at those roads for a very, very long time. And
we have given up.
I do love that our Rota police people have an active Facebook webpage that they use to inform the public about things, because Facebook is pretty on par with Spain. A lot of other people have moved on from the Book of Faces, but it's just about right for Spain. And the Spanish police there in Rota, they have a good presence on the page. I follow them, so I get to see about things happening. And I know exactly where it's not even a sinkhole, it's a washout. To describe it in words our listeners can understand, if you've ever seen a road, usually going over a bridge or something, and like where the yellow line is, on half of it you can see the yellow line, and on the other half you see what has become a void and layers of dirt piled upon each other. That's what we're talking about, a washout kind of thing. One of the main roads into the base in Rota, it no worky, because if I looked at all the landmarks properly, that's just down the road from Las Tinajas, right?
Yep.
And
there was another one that kind of outside Sevilla, and that unfortunately there was a car that got there were injuries but no fatalities, and it got swept. The road caved all the way in and all the way out on the highway.
You know my take on driving, it's the most dangerous thing that we do every day, except in Spain where it's slowly becoming the train.
I know, which sucks because I love the train. I
also love the train, but there's been more than a few accidents on Spain Rail that... Going back how far?
Last week.
Yeah. Just going back this year. But over time, I remember when the guy came into a 20-mile-an-hour curve with a train full of people at 80 miles an hour, and the train just said, physics.
It's been a rough week here.
There was an amusement park ride in India that recently was swinging back and forth, filled with children, and then in the Indian language, I was surprised I understand it. The amusement ride yelled out, "Physics!"
Oh.
I'm going to use that more.
Yeah, it's been a rough one here.
Yeah, well, we are in the middle of Snowmageddon. Snowmageddon 4 or Polar Blast 18. I don't know. They've always got some ways of trying to make snow more deadly and dangerous than it is.
Snowy?
Oh, yeah, more snowy and ice, more icy.
My mom and we always joke about the weaponization of weather broadcasts.
Yeah.
Just tell me, if you got it right, you wouldn't have to make it so scary.
With Commander Jim Contour as the commander of the opposing forces. You thought you had it made until Commander Jim Cantor shows up.
It's raining again.
Yeah, well, it does that in Spain, hence the name, in the plane.
Oh my gosh, it's a lot. It's been a lot. My pool, I drained my pool, right?
Oh, okay.
Because it was leaking.
And then you filled it up for free.
Well, I drained it because it was leaking, and I wanted to figure out where the leak was coming from. Like,
yes,
how low down it was.
How low can you go? Yes.
Yes. Figured it out.
Uh-huh.
Cool. Found some guys that are going to come and put a liner in because no one has money for all of that. And it's full. It's not just full. It's almost reached its maximum capacity again. It is over full.
With just rainwater.
And it looks gross. It looks gross.
First world problems. There are people that are swimming in rivers full of dung, and you've got a pool in the backyard that looks a little gross.
It looks very disgusting. But I just did all the work. Draining the pool is not an easy task.
Are there buckets involved?
No, I have a pump, but it takes a lot of time and redistributing of the water. And now I got too much water. I don't know where I'm going to drain this water to because it's just going to flood the yard and make it soggy again.
Run it to the street.
The hose doesn't go that far, my dude.
My girl, get yourself an extender and more hose and run it to the street. That'll take it to the ocean. You're helping Mother Nature at its finest.
That's something I got to store in my shed, and it's full.
Just soggy grass. Just deal with it.
It's going to be a very wet yard for a very long time.
I don't want an extra hose.
I don't think like when you know you don't need something.
That's not me. I never know when I don't need something. I eventually realize I didn't need something, but I never knew in advance that I didn't need something.
So we've been like decluttering and purging our house, right? Trying to get rid of all the excess. I'm actually sitting next to a bag of clothes for donation. And that is just my drawers. It's an entire trash bag full. I got to do the closet still. I got stuff I got to throw away. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to go buy a hose extender that I'm going to use one time.
You don't know that. You have no idea how many times you might need a hose extender. You're living in a world of insecurity. Anything could happen at any given time, and someone's going to come to you one day and like, hey, you got a hose extender and an extra hose? And you're like, nope.
Even if I had one, the answer would be no.
And then they say, we're all going to die.
Thanks. Cool. I'm ready.
All going to die. No, so we literally right now, and I have a 4-wheel drive vehicle, or all-wheel drive. Apparently, there's some difference. All 4 of my tires move at the same time if I push the right button. I cannot leave my house.
That sounds wonderful.
Yeah, and my wife cannot leave the house. And none of us can leave our house because there's so much snow out there that you not only need the 4-wheel drive, you need the big, giant, knobby tires. And because I live on a hill, we probably need chains. And I'm not getting the big knobby tires, and I'm not getting any chains. So I'm just going to stay here in my house on a Sunday. No big deal. It's a Sunday. Oh, shoot. The game comes on soon.
Sports.
Yeah. It's no big deal. It's a Sunday. We've spent Sundays together, right? It's not a big deal. Until she realizes she can't escape.
You?
I think not being able to leave the house has created a special kind of cabin sickness. And I mean, a short-term, if you will, short-term cabin sickness. And as I often point out, that any person who's been married for a long time has basically married the same person. You know what I mean? All of our wives do the same thing. And And I'm pretty sure there are other wives out there right now dealing with short-term cabin sickness, that they've been stuck in their house. Stuck. They cannot leave with their spouse for so long that they're doing things to irritate their spouse and argue with their spouse and yell at their spouse. It's not a good place to be right now.
That's not a problem we have in our house.
In a time period where there would never be this friction, because we could both leave at any point. But now that we can't leave, that we are actually locked in our house, under house arrest, if you will, now there's cracks in the foundation. There's issues. Now there's raised voices, and none of that has to be. We can make it through this. We got enough snacks to get through a couple more days.
Snacks are important, and they do make things better.
We got water, we got internet, we got power. We can last. We can make it.
We're gonna make it after all.
And I think the person who's suffering from the most cabin sickness in our household is Zeus himself.
Oh, poor buddy.
Zeus is not digging any of this white stuff.
It's cold on his little toe beans.
It is very cold on his toes, and there's a lot of it, and he goes ankle deep. He's definitely more than ankle deep. But it's not as bad as cats. I had two cats when I lived in Newfoundland, Poseidon and Polaris. And they were both great cats, but every once in a while, cats being cats, they can be a pain in the tuchus. So there was a big
as someone
snowstorm.
Who doesn't have cats? Yes.
There was a big snowstorm. I mean, we got a ton of snow. And these two kept trying to go outside. And they weren't outside cats, but they kept trying to go outside. Curiosity. I don't know. Maybe that's what it was. But then they got themselves stuck between the there's another name for an outside glass door and the inner door. I don't remember because it's a weather door or something like that. The outside door is meant to keep out of most of the stuff, and the inside door is like able to keep out the air from the inside door. Anyway, they had found themselves in this position, and for whatever reason, I was mad at them for that. And I said, "You want to know what it is? You want to experience it?" And I grabbed them both, and I threw them out into the snow. I was thinking that they would land on top of the snow, and then they would walk around, and they would feel it, and then they would get their butts back inside and stop being so curious, and I wouldn't have to deal with them doing the things, whatever they were doing that was irritating me. That was my thought process.
No.
What I did not know, what I could not have known at that time, was they would both hit the snow like a Wile E. Coyote hits the ground. I had two perfect splayed out cat impressions side by side in like 4.5 foot deep snow. They went all the way to the bottom.
They hated you.
Well, I couldn't, obviously. I got to go get them. I'm not dressed for this, okay? 2 seconds ago, I didn't know I was going to be in the snow.
Neither did they. So they were like, okay, bye.
10 seconds ago, I didn't know I was going to need to be dressed to just be at the door. And I panicked, and I ran out there in my underwear, in my socks. I think I might, I just underwear and socks. I don't even think I took time to grab boots. I was wearing socks because it's Newfoundland. Okay, I go out there, and sure enough, I have to dig them out, and I follow the little cat outlines that go down, and I dig, and I get to the point where I can reach them, and I grab them, and I get up, and I rescued the cats that would have certainly frozen to death in my backyard, and you wouldn't have seen them until the thaw.
They would have suffocated and frozen. You're 100% correct.
Yeah.
It's sad cat life.
Well, again, it was, if I would have killed them both, it would have been unintentional homicide. I didn't mean to kill them. Cat slaughter, if you will. I thought that was a damn good legal joke. I don't care if you didn't like it.
Cat slaughter.
If I had a laugh button right now, I would push it. I don't have any buttons right now because
no buttons.
Because it didn't do the update when it said, "Do you want to do an update?" Nah, let's do it later. Got him, you idiot.
Will he ever be able to do the update? Question of the week.
I don't know, because, we're 15 minutes into this, and I thought, no, I got a good question of the week for you. We've got some that are piling up. What was it? Cheese was one, and then today's was one, and I don't know. Did you realize that the image Mr. Taney used on the question of the week was your face?
No.
I could tell from your eyeballs lighting up. You did not realize it either. And I took a second look at that. I was like, did you do that to Christina? And he said, yeah, because she likes doing speed puzzles. And that made me laugh. She is now scrolling down.
Oh.
I didn't know it was you. I thought it was very funny.
It is me.
Yes, it's you with the jigsaw paint on your face.
Yes.
That you didn't put there.
But also, what is this picture of me in front of beef jerky?
Were you at a Buc-ee's?
It looks like the necks.
All right. Okay. Well,
Where'd you get this? Oh, I think it was a picture I took maybe with, I don't know.
all of the pictures that you've been posting all of the years until you turn it off, they all disappear. I mean, they're all there until you make them disappear. And even then, it's not.
They're still there.
Yeah, right?
And now, it's TuBaur's 2-minute drill.
Hey everyone, it's your girl TuBaur's here with my 2-minute session. I am dropping in to give you an update on my goals for the new year. Remember how I said I wanted to finish reading the books I started in 2025 to try and compete with all these people reading 50 and 60 some books a year? Well, here's how it's going. It's going just very, very slow. I'm still reading Bad Summer People, which I started last year. I think I'm about halfway through. I'm reading Be the Unicorn for work purposes. That's on my IDP. And I'm also, which I just read quickly, it's called The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse. I busted on Tool for reading this book and buying this book, but as an adult, everyone should read this book. It is an amazing book. I did actually apologize to him and say, no, great book, very mature. It looks like it's a child's book. It may be hard to read if you can't read cursive, but an amazing book with a lot of perspectives on life and how there are so many things it teaches you. So again, that book was The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse. Unbelievable book. And then for Christmas, my mother got me The Widow by John Grisham. Fitting, right? First of all, I love John Grisham. I've always been a big fan of him. The legal thrillers, mainly because I like legal stuff. And being that I'm a widow, perfect story. So I'm excited to get into that one as well. So my books are slowly coming along. I still have a lot of reading to do, but I'll keep you updated. Today was the first drop of snow. I think we got like a half an inch. Woo! But it's cold enough outside for me to stay inside by the fire to catch up on these books. I'll give you an update on how it goes next week. Anything fun and exciting that happens to me, I'll give you an update as well. Right now, I'm just kind of boring and living life through the winter. I usually hibernate at this time of year. It's in the spring and summer when I really get lively. Anyways, I hope you guys are doing well, and I'll chat with you soon. See ya! Or as the book says, life is difficult. You are loved.
Stop talking.
You are loved.
That's what the book says. So have you...
That's what I say.
Have you read any of those books? Have you even heard of any of these books?
No. But as a person who does go through a pretty good chunk of books each year, I may have to add some of those to my list.
Okay. Be the Unicorn. I thought that was an interesting title. And it's funny that she has to read that book for work purposes.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what you guys do at work, but...
Get your laugh on and save a life. The Harrisburg Comedy Zone, in partnership with the Central Pennsylvania Blood Bank, offer 2 free passes for every single pint of blood donated. Quick clarification, it must be your blood. 1 pint, 2 free passes. That's almost the junkie rate for a plasma donation. Did you know a single pint of blood can save as many as 3 lives? Did you know the Harrisburg Comedy Zone features amazing talent from all over the country every single weekend? Did you also know that blood expires and the Central Pennsylvania Blood Bank is in regular need of donations? For more information on how you could save a life and have a laugh, visit cpbb.org and harrisburgcomedyzone.com. That's one word, harrisburgcomedyzone.com. I
contend... Wait, I'm now going to play the intro for cooking.
It's time to talk about cooking.
Oh, I was just playing it in my head.
I think we should just use that one.
That's pretty good. No, it's too much explanation. I got so much to clean up on this and to do.
It's time to talk about cooking.
And tonight proved one thing. You know all.
I contend that there are 2 and only 2 fruits that you can add to pancake batter that makes pancakes taste better. That is my contention. What say you, Chef Chick Brew?
Blueberries and chocolate chips are absolutely a fruit.
They are not a fruit, but you're halfway to the correct answer.
Are you going to say bananas?
I was going to say bananas. I was going to say blueberries and bananas.
It's a good choice. Both of those I agree.
Have you ever had any other fruit mixed into pancake batter that worked?
Yeah, I don't think.
Exactly.
Some lemon zest with those blueberries, that'd be pretty nice.
Is it because the pancake developers across the world found the best 2 things on their first 2 tries and said, that's enough for us, we're good?
Well, now I'm thinking about pancakes.
Yes, and that led me to a question that I think I was going to ask. Look, we asked the listeners to give us questions, and they don't. And we asked the listeners to answer our questions, and they don't. And we say things like, well, fine, you get to pick this week's questions and answers. And then they do, and then they don't. Well, we're going to get to this week's question of the week in a sec. No, we're not, because it's on par with talking about cooking. I contend that blueberries and bananas are the only fruits ever added to pancakes successfully. They're the best. No others compare. And chocolate chip cookie is also good, but still not a fruit. Then the question I provided, P word, was... What is your favorite syrup?
Oh,
because they've done. There's a lot of syrup technology out there, and like for instance, I am a giant fan of boysenberry, but I could not pick out boysenberry in a police lineup. If you lined up 5 fruits in front of me and said which one of these is the boysenberry, I'm not. I don't know. I look. It's not the banana. What's the banana doing in here? Not even a real fruit. But out of the actual berries you gave me, I don't know, the black one.
Sure.
Because you see what I did, there was police line.
I know what you did there. I see it with both eyes. Thanks.
So I don't know what a boysenberry is, but for some reason, it's like my favorite fruited syrup. What's yours?
I like the butter pecan one at IHOP.
Oh, that does sound amazing.
It's especially if you got a banana pancake.
Is there anywhere else you can fart, dude? Is there anywhere else you can fart?
Preferred location is next to Papa.
Man, is he blowing it up. Yeah, but there's that butter pecan that is a good choice. That is a good choice.
Yeah.
I can't think of all the others.
I might not look as fat these days, but I'm still a fat person. Do not be confused.
I think IHOP had the best selection of syrups that were available to you, and I think some of them were seasonal. I know strawberry was not bad, but I mean, you got your traditional maple syrup, which in itself,
fine.
Which in itself doesn't really require much anything. You add a little dab of butter and some maple syrup, and you've got yourself some good to go pancakes. Now you want to bougie it up a little bit. You grab yourself some boysenberry and put that on top instead, and then you're going to just get a different flavor profile.
Yeah, I mean, because the pancake is just the vehicle for the syrup to go into that, right? Because if you just put a straw in the syrup, I think people are going to look at you a little weird.
So this is why Big Pancake has spent more money on syrups than on pancakes? More research money?
I mean, that's where I'd spend my money.
What are some of the strangest syrups you remember? I think maybe in the world, there's probably 10 different flavors of syrup, and that's about it. And we've named like 3 of them so far.
Was it strawberry?
Blueberry,
your boysenberry. I had rhubarb syrup before. It's all right.
Say it isn't so.
It's all right. What else you got?
Banana something.
Oh, I'm sure.
A banana pecan. You know, the funny thing about pecan flavoring, I'm not a big fan. but I like to eat pecans. Or, as other people call them, pecans.
Don't be a pecan, be a pecan.
I like to eat the nut itself, but whenever you tell me it's a flavor of something in addition to, I kind of lose it. How about from today's supplemental, additional things I wanted to ask you about? Hot chocolate. Using your words, can you describe for me what you think is a perfect hot chocolate?
Not too rich, not too wet.
Yeah. Well, if you're not too rich, not going to be too wet. Okay.
with a splash of peppermint.
A hot chocolate, not too rich, not too wet, with a splash.
You know when it's like too runny? I want extra wet hot chocolate.
Okay, I don't know if that's the right word to use when referring to liquid substances, because they're all wet.
Yeah, but some are too wet.
Watered down is what you're talking about.
Not so liquidy.
Okay, liquidy. Yeah, that works. I described I'm not that. I could not tell you the last time I had some hot chocolate. And I painted in today's supplemental. I painted a beautiful picture about making someone go make their family hot chocolate, and I really went. I got very descriptive. It was quite entertaining. But as I thought about it, I was like, oh wow, I'm so basic that if there's a couple of packets of Mrs. Swiss lying around, they already come with the dehydrated marshmallows.
Yeah, not a bad day.
Just a hot water, a packet, and hope it's got marshmallows in it.
Marshmallows. The schmallows.
Before we wrap up this particular segment, we're waiting for some video to see.
Yes. Almost done with it. This weather gave me a bit of a migraine.
Okay.
With the light sensitivity, which is not something I generally suffer from. So it was very irritating. So I didn't spend a lot of time on my screens this week. But I'm almost done.
Okay.
I just need to make it a little shorter. It feels a little long.
Okay. I feel I have confidence in you that you can do this. So yeah. I'm not going to offer any assistance. On Monday, I have to telework, and I'm not very good at teleworking because it's easier to get distracted in a house of stuff that I love than it is at work where I've got like 2 or 3 things on my desk that I love. Like, oh, look, I got distracted by the birthday gift my wife gave me. Back to work. But here I'm like, oh, dog. So I readily admit I am not a good work from home person. I'm still going to get everything done. But I, like all of those people who ever teleworked, I'm going to be equally distracted in a place where the things that I love are here. So looking forward to that.
I'm pretty good at teleworking.
Oh, I bet you are. I bet you are. You learn all your recipes and make a new sourdough thing and get one of those.
There's just no one to bother me. So I just get things done. There's no one gabbing and yapping. And I just do.
Get one of those bags of liquid out of the bottom that used to be in a soup that's like 200 years old. Yeah, I bet I couldn't. For the life of me, I could not pull the name of that out of my brain. A roux.
Oh, yeah, that takes time. That's definitely a telework day.
What are you doing? A roux nothing?
Nada.
Okay.
Not a lot.
Next, let's go to the book of everything.
Everything is everything. What is meant to be.
We lost our sound effects budget. We're phoning it all in right now. That's not true. Most of you will not notice too much of a difference. Everything is everything. What is meant to be will be. Every week we go to the book of everything. We try to find a new, unusual, interesting fact, and we give it to you for you as a test to see if it is possible to sneak this into your daily conversations with neighbors and friends. I try to go random, but then I pull out a random, and my choices are limited in the randoms. I don't think anybody. Yeah, because we've used so many of these, I have to look through them a little bit. In 2025, we saw the end of the penny.
Oh, we did.
Old Honest Abe's face was not going to be with us anymore because, and why did we do that?
I don't know, because they got rid of the penny here a long time ago.
Yes. For those who don't know, military overseas bases do not spend the money shipping pennies back and forth between countries. And they have had a roundup policy in place for over 20 years at military bases around the world. And the reason they discontinued the penny in the United States is, number one, we've already minted enough to last us forever. They're pretty sturdy little things there. We don't need a fresh batch of them every year. And the other reason why we got rid of the penny is because it was costing us...
It costs more than they're worth.
around 9 cents per penny just to make a penny. Now, it doesn't take a genius to figure out that's bad business. Now, the book of everything that we have, copyright is 2011. That's now 15 years ago. And because of inflation, I am certain this fact that I'm about to read you was not inflated. That has not been corrected for inflation. Okay, this is the 2011 numbers, and I can guarantee you it was a lot higher then. It cost the U.S. Mint 11 cents to make a nickel. Obviously, we're doing as I am not. I say this often. If you want to do it wrong, get the government involved. If you want to see how bad it can go, get the government involved. And this is another one of those instances where we're allowed to make money, and the process of making money costs more than the money. And then you are not just upside down in your credit, you're upside down in your economy. You're doing it wrong, and you've been doing it wrong for a very long time. So good riddance to the penny, and at this rate, looks like the nickel's going to be gone soon too. They keep wanting to move us to a digital currency, and they haven't been able to make me understand why. But if this is the why, I'm kind of starting to get on board with it. I'm okay with...
I don't carry cash.
The roundup thing has really confused a lot of people who don't understand rounding in the United States. And rounding is basic math. 5 to 9 is the next highest number. 4 to 1 is the next lowest number. That's all there is to it. But people, they get mad because their 4 isn't a 5. And they get mad because their 3 isn't a 5. They get mad because they don't understand rounding. So stores are putting these displays everywhere explaining to the mathematically retarded people of America what rounding is, with graphs and pictures showing, sorry, the penny is no more. So it's either this or it's this, unless you pay us by credit card. Oh, by the way, if you want to pay us by credit card, we're going to charge you an extra 3.5%. Yeah, that is what you get back in rewards, but it's also half of what your credit card company charges us to be able to use them. I did not know how much of a scam the credit card industry is and how ruthless it can be until our friends Jack and Angie went into the restaurant business, and they were explaining to me why they couldn't accept certain cards because they couldn't negotiate a reasonable fee that the restaurant has to pay the credit card company to take the credit card from its customers. And now I understand why Discovery was such a bad deal for so long. So nobody had Discovery cards unless you were a Sears customer, and then they got rid of Sears, and then no one had Discovery cards. Except Discovery stuck around even though Sears disappeared. And it was a departmental card, and it had 5% return. In a time when that was completely unheard of. You used a Discovery card, you got 5% cash back. That was unheard of. Nobody was doing that back then. And at the same time, no one was taking Discover cards back then either, because the 5% they were giving you back was because they took 10% from the people who you paid to begin with. What a scam. What a racket that I wish I was a part of. I wish I would have got in on that. That's genius. That's evil genius thinking.
I know. And every day, I think I'm never going to be rich because I'm just not a bad person.
I tell you, if I had known how much money there was in the daycare business, if you have zero scruples whatsoever, I wouldn't be here talking to you. I'd be driving around the block in my 4-wheel drive, high-lifted Ferrari with chains on it.
Your winterized Ferrari.
Got a new season of Formula One getting ready to start back up. But before we go into the next thing, let me ask you this thing. No, because with you, I think I already know the answer. Let me ask the audience this thing. Do you ever feel stupid? and as an example of feeling stupid, here's me today in a conversation with my mother. She would type something, send it, and I would read it. I instantly type a response and send it back. Now, for the next 5.5 minutes, I'm watching 3 dots go doot, 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 because she's typing. Any moment now, a response is going to come in. Doot, doot, doot. She's typing. Doot, doot, doot. She's typing.
You're having a meltdown, I could tell.
I am like, what is she typing? That is so long that it's taking this long to send it. It took so long to send it that I eventually just shut the phone off. It's like, I'll get it later. Mad that whatever she was typing hadn't been sent so far. She has since sent it while we were sitting here. And I cannot,
Just the letters. Okay.
I cannot wait to see what it is that took so long to type. Home! Exclamation point.
I knew it. I knew it. I'm so tickled.
Hold on. She used some.
I'm so pleased.
She used some creative texting. It's capital H space capital O space capital M space capital E and 3 exclamation points. And
I do love your mom.
That took 5 minutes. 5 minutes of me sitting there waiting to see what it could possibly be. Home. Well, welcome home. I hope you had a wonderful vacation. I'm now going to ask you, hey, you got any headlines for me?
I do.
And then I'm going to play that.
And now it is time for headlines from around the globe.
Ladies and gentlemen, we come to you every week with the headlines that... All right, ladies and gentlemen, it really does throw me off that we don't have the sound. All right, ladies and gentlemen, every week she gives me a headline that she pulls from the ether. It is my job to mine that headline for some type of quality, informational, educational, or entertainmental value. You got a headline for me?
I do. Horses leap through flames and pets go to church in Spanish animal rituals honoring St. Anthony.
Hey, that's what we want to see. We want to see some horses jumping through flames on my name day, okay? St. Anthony wants to see fiery horses in costumes and bands and flamenco dances. So, because you know there's always going to be a flamenco dance.
There's going to be a flamenco
If there's a horse jumping through flames, there's going to be a flamenco dance.
There's going to be some Olay. There's going to be Olay.
I appreciate you not pulling headlines from Pennsylvania once again. It's getting harder and harder to defend some of the wackiness in my currently residing state. So you go.
Let me go look and see if I can find some.
So you go to my currently residing country where we both once lived. Now just you live. And that's a festival I never knew of. But it's also very far away. If it were a little closer to where we lived, I would have wanted to watch horses jumping through flames. But mind you, the flames are short, the horses don't get hurt, and there's a human on top of them when they're doing this. So, you know, the horses are fine. Not like a bullfight. The bull is not fine.
We don't go to bullfights.
Yes. Well, have you ever?
No.
Okay.
And I'm okay with that.
I gotcha. And many people don't, and I'm not knocking them. I'm going to say, as part of my experience, I felt like it was something that you should do. If you're in a country that does a thing, you should check it out. And I watched several, and I watched more of them solely because the bullfighter I was most interested in at the time was Juan Jose Padilla, also known as the Los Ojos. Uno Osos. He was a matador that took a very, very grisly blow and lost an eyeball and continued to be a matador. I watched it for the pageantry, and then he retired. And I just remember at his retirement, I was like, you know, I'm good. I don't ever need to see this again. And I was okay with not seeing it again and no longer encouraging people that as part of the Spanish experience, you should. If you want to do something as part of the Spanish experience, definitely go run with the bulls. Yeah, give them a chance to do unto others what has been done unto them. I close out this headline with this piece of advice to anybody that's listening to us in the Rota Greater Metropolitan Area. There is a horse show. It's the Andalusian horse show in Jerez. It's a big deal. It's a tourist trap. It's a tourist attraction. Save your money. I went there with the expectation of seeing something remarkable, and I can tell you I was severely disappointed. They are horses, and there is some good horsemanship, but there's nothing awesome, nothing fantastic. I'm telling you, if I was in charge of doing a horse show like that in America, there'd be monster trucks and bikinis and fireworks and American flags and more fireworks and horses and fire. There would definitely have been fire if I was in charge of that show. But at the Andalusian horse show, don't waste your money or time. Unless you're doing it for the experience of doing it, and then later you'll be like, T-Bone was right. That was quite boring. There was like one trick in the 90 minutes of the horses prancing, mostly prancing. There was like one small trick. I was like, oh, that was kind of neat. But the rest of it was like, and they got really mad when they found out we brought a camera in. Because taking pictures of horses and riders on them is bad. Okay?
Okay.
Hey, do you have another headline for me?
Yes.
He presses the button. We do the rest of it with stage direction. That's hilarious. Camera zooms in on Chick Bruce's face. Cut to T-Bone. Hey, you got any headlines for me?
Yes.
She does. Play bumper.
Singing contest in Rio prison provides creative outlet for women behind bars.
Did you say singing?
Yes.
Oh. A singing contest in a prison in Rio de Janeiro. In a woman's prison in Rio de Janeiro. I see probably 10 of the most popular musicians in the world coming out of this contest.
Yeah, I was going to say, I like it. I'm here for it.
Well, anytime there's women in prison, you got my attention. I'm a big fan of women convicts. I like them in custody.
You're a weird.
And I also think orange brings out the color in everyone.
It is a color.
Chicks with tattoos, chicks with muscles, chicks with anger disorders. These are my people. So can they do this in a X Factor / American Idol Portuguese prison idol coming to you? If they would do that, they have to have a British judge that speaks Portuguese, who has he speaks Portuguese, but he's got a British accent when he speaks it. And he's mean, and he's angry, and he judges these women harshly. And then, cut to commercial, come back, and he's been shanked. And then find many of these angry the men who don't like women voices and use them as a judge, cut to commercial, shank, cut to commercial, shank, and just go through a rotating series of Brazilian prison women singing contest judges. Somebody agreed with my idea.
Yeah, the murderer thinks that you're onto something. The show is called Voice of Liberty, and it is a TV show, and they do have famous people who are the judges.
I like that, and without getting shanked, I don't want Simon Cowell to get shanked. I want Simon Cowell impersonators to get shanked every commercial break to just keep it exciting. And can the cost or the award for winning the show be their freedom? Come on. Yes, she may have murdered 15 men, but she sings like an angel. Come back on Portuguese Prison Grand Prix Sing-Off Show.
I mean, with something to live for, maybe something to lose, they might be less inclined to reoffend.
There was an X Factor lady with a very angelic voice, but she had very humble. She had a very humble appearance. She was not an attractive woman, to be clear. And then she went on X Factor, and she has an angelic voice. And then they redid her face and her makeup, and she's pretty now, and she's a singing music person star. Adele, maybe it was Adele.
Not Adele. I know who you're talking about, though. She sang the.
Come on, that was funny. That was funny. Come on, that was funny. Yes. She sang. Give me that same thing in a Brazilian prison. You know, she's a drug queen pen, and she's in prison for the rest of 72 lives in the future for killing a whole bunch of people. And then she wins the singing contest, and she is freed, and she gets some plastic surgery, and she becomes the success story, the model for all Brazilian female prison rehabilitation programs. Until she returns to a life of crime. Yes, when the fame runs out, she goes back to her old habits.
And
murdering politicians.
She could never sing to begin with. She stole the voice of the mermaid. Oh, her name was also Ursula. Got it.
The Beast Games is back.
Oh, yeah.
I know you have no idea what Beast Games is, but season 1 was...
Mr. Beast?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've been following Mr. Beast for like over a decade, dude. Welcome to the show.
No, I've also been following him a long time, but Jimmy's gone mainstream. Season 1 of Beast Games was started with 2,000 contestants. He's learned a lot of things since Beast Games Season 1. Beast Games Season 2, he only has 200 contestants, which makes it a little bit more manageable, saves him a whole bunch of money on the budget. And there was a point I wanted to make about something that we were talking about that was Beast Games related, or else I wouldn't have brought it up. Balls.
To the walls.
Yep, completely lost it.
Oh.
Completely lost it. Because you sidetracked me with I've been a fan of Mr. Beast for 10 years. My guy.
Following him. I think he used to be funnier.
They did a crossover episode with Survivor, and Jeff Probst, the Survivor guy, the guy in charge of Survivor, he said something that I loved, and for a few minutes, old Mr. Beast there took the advice. Mr. Beast notoriously just yells and shouts everything, like everyone's deaf and they all need to hear him. I don't know anybody else who does that. and he yells something, and then Probst says something quietly, and Mr. Beast says to him, he goes, wow, you said that very quietly. Or he probably said, you said that very quietly. And Jeff Probst goes, when you're in charge, you don't have to be loud. Now that is a true statement. You do not have to be loud when you're in charge. And Jimmy immediately took that information on board and he was like, wow. And then for the next few minutes, he was speaking like a normal television presenter. And then old habits kicked back in and he was back to yelling again. I know the feeling. I often try to talk like normal people talk, and then something will get my attention, and then I'm back to being me about being excited about something again.
I'm just too excited.
We're not going to talk about that. We'll save that for another day. I think we make the question of the week this week, the question that I asked you, and me and you have both already answered, but we're just curious about Ewan's out there. What is your favorite syrup? We'll be interested to hear. In addition to, I'm going to look up the answers to people who responded to last week's question. Last week's question was donated to us by a listener, Mr. James. He gave us the question. He also provided the graphic, which, if you didn't know, was Chick Brew's face with a jigsaw puzzle on it. It was pretty cool. Okay. But it's no surprise. No, nothing's loading, because why would it? Why would it? Me and Zeus were coming back from the day spa. We drove by our billboard. It made me happy. I was like, there we are. Look at us. Yay! What is your favorite game to play? That was the question posed to us by listener Mr. Taney. Here are the answers that you provided, ladies and gentlemen. Miss Teegan said Cards Without Humanity. I'm interested in any thoughts you have on any of these topics or games.
Cards Against Humanity?
You never heard of it?
No, I haven't.
Okay, yeah, I've never played it, but I heard it's a funny game.
It's a funny game.
Okay, I probably heard it from you. Shirley Stanley, maybe Mike Stanley, his favorite game or their favorite game is spin the bottle.
Ooh.
And he claims it gets better with age. James Taney says D&D has had its moments as well. Mr. Taney is doing a Robert. He's pulling an old-fashioned Robert here by not giving us answers. We asked for what is your favorite, singular, not what are your favorites, plural. He also said we like apples to apples or Dutch Blitz. So,
What is Dutch Blitz?
Yeah, what are apples to apples? These are all games I have not played.
Apples to Apples is like a very clean version of, Cards Against Humanity is like a very filthy version of Apples to Apples. Apples to Apples is a very child-friendly game.
And then
they're the same concept.
he posted your picture with the jigsaw face and said, "Who doesn't love speed puzzles?" He was very active this week. TuBaur pops in with Telestrations After Dark.
Oh, what is that?
So she has explained it before. It's basically like dirty Pictionary. So there's a whole thing out there, like naughty police officer and naughty nurse. Now there's all these board games that have a naughty version. So even TuBaur, why is it so hard, ladies and gentlemen? Number one, to participate. There are so many of you that listen that don't participate. Why is it so hard to type in an answer? Because when you don't type an answer, I have to deal with people like James giving me 5 answers, and now Heather giving me 2 answers. To the question, what is your favorite? Not what are your first 5 runners-ups. I don't want to know that. I would love to hear from all of you about the one thing that you love more than all things.
Rupert.
Is Rupert a game? Keep it on topic. Now, Chick Brew.
He's very playful.
The question goes to you. What is your favorite game?
Mario.
Oh, good call. Going with an electronic game. That didn't even register. That did not even register. Now I think about the amount of hours I've spent playing what I thought up until you said that my favorite game. I was going to say Pinochle.
Ooh.
Because I didn't go into the electric realm. I just went with a game, a board game, a card game. I went with that kind of game. And that would have been my answer. But now that you make electronic available to us, ooh, that's different. Because I think of the games I've played and the hours I played them, and it's probably Call of Duty. I've spent so many hours playing it. I could have said Grand Theft Auto, but it's not my favorite. It's not on top. And there are other shooter games I like, and there are race car games that I like. But if I have to,
I really like Saints Row.
Okay.
I will always go back to Mario. Always.
And I think I would always go back to the game I previously mentioned, Call of Duty. Well, I kind of stopped playing video games. I turned into a zombie, and then they cured me from being a zombie. No, I am a zombie. I was alive, then I was dead. Now I'm alive again. I'm a zombie. It makes you look at your time being spent a little bit better and trying to be more useful with the time. It's just not a bad thing. I kind of recommend that to everybody. But if I was forced to sit in a cell and I could only have one game, give me that game. Oh, on the condition that it's connected to the internet. Because the only reason I love Call of Duty, it's a fun game. Yay, it's fun. But I love playing against other people. And all the people that you meet online playing this game, they're across the board. They're so different. They're so wild. And early on, I had a young man that was from the hood. Okay, I had a young man from the hood. And I had a young man, or maybe he sounded older, who was from the farm. I had a farm man voice, old, and young hood voice, young. I got these 2 voices, and they are screaming at each other. And they're using a lot of foul language, but I'm just enjoying the argument. It's like, get out. Yeah, what'd he say? Stop camping, all right? Stop camping. Get out here. Come on out here. And the other one's like, no, I ain't doing that. You camping. You just a camper. He goes, yeah, it's part of the game. It's part of the game. And they were just going back and forth. And that interaction was more entertaining to me than anything happening on the screen. So I'm like a Call of Duty voyeur. And every time I'm camping on somebody, because it is fun to do, I think of that old farm man's voice. It's in the game. It's in the game.
They didn't want me to do it. They wouldn't have let me.
That last topic I got, we're going to leave that as it is. Today was syrup. We provided the question of the week, and if you're interested in providing a question of the week, just feel free to do it. You don't have to wait for us to ask you to do it or anything like that. We did the book. We did the news. We didn't do any commercials because we couldn't. We had a lot of technical difficulties today, so we're going to wrap it up a little bit early, and we're wrapping a little early. But and there are two 15-minute segments that you will never hear. You heard them. The listening audience will never hear them because I was experiencing massive amounts of frustration. So if this one comes in at a little under an hour, you know what? It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. I did a public service announcement Friday night on the Warno and this morning on the supplemental about cold weather. Yes, there was an accident Friday night in between the accident where I get on the interstate and the exit where I get off the interstate. In between the one on and off that I have to do. And it was a vicious crash. It looked like something straight out of NASCAR. There were tire tracks everywhere. There were donuts. There was wreckage and dent guardrails. It was a huge crash. And it was some of the most miserable weather we had, like minus 13 degree wind chill factor. And these people that morning, they just went to work and they did their job in a climate controlled place. And then they got in their car and they turned on the heat and they drove home. And they had no idea within the span of just a few miles from work, they were going to be stranded on the side of the road for a very long time in clothing that was not meant for the conditions. So my whole PSA this week is just for reminding people, if you live in a place like this, or if you're experiencing a weather phenomenon like this, even if you're not going to wear it, keep bundled warm clothing in your vehicle during this time of the year. The last thing you want to do is be in an accident, but if you're in an accident and you're outside in the weather because you can't be in your car anymore, that's even worse. That's just putting bad on top of bad. So 3 times this week I've done a public service announcement, and I feel like we're back on the radio. We got all the problems of being on the radio, and we did all the things. We just didn't play enough commercials, and we didn't play any bad music from AFN.
So it was a pretty good day, is what I'm saying.
Ladies and gentlemen, I remind you today, as I remind you every day, just be the best person you could be. If you are a great person today, be an even better person tomorrow.
And don't forget that you are loved. And if you enjoyed that show, you should check out the Darrell McClain Show, independent media that won't reinforce tribalism. We have one planet and nobody's leaving, so let's reason together. You can find the Darrell McClain Show at the same place you actually listen to this show. Give it a shot.
Very well done. Very well done. So you and the Taney children are the only ones that have memorized the things in the show. All right, that's us.
That's a long one, too.
It is. Lunsby.